Welcome back to consecutive day 1751 of the Diary of a Runpreneur. And today's episode, I want to talk to you about less is more in so many facets of life. So if you can resonate with that, keep on watching, keep on listening. Hope you find it useful. Welcome back to consecutive day 1751 of a Diary of a Runpreneur. Today's topic is all about the concept of less is more and how it can relate to so many different facets of life. But before we get on to the topic at hand, please don't forget this is part of a fundraiser of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultramarathon of run vlogging on consecutive days, a distance of a lap of the world, barefoot style. And the more people we get in front of, the more money we raise, the more children's lives we save, which is why I do this every single day. So back to the topic at hand. Less is more. Why am I talking about this today? What part of my life has this rule affected today? Well, we're basically in the process of launching a new product to the market. It's called Digital Operations Director. I'm super excited about it streamlining efficiencies within small to medium sized businesses, giving them access to real-time data to make decisions on, and people management tools to take their productivity to the next level. And as part of this journey, we're building this product out from the kind of basically the frameworks that I've used to run and manage my businesses over the past 20 odd years in my world of entrepreneurship on my journey. And what we're finding is we're launching this business in a kind of the lean startup method, you know, creating a minimum viable product and launching it to beta testers, paid beta testers in the early stages. So we're actually building the product as we go. We've got the frameworks there, but we're building it as we go, which is putting quite a lot of pressure on the product build team. And that's where this concept kind of comes into play. And what we found is that I've set up what I wanted to build, but the process of building it, especially when we're optimizing everything as much as we can with automations and AI, it's some of the automations are pretty complicated and quite time consuming to create. And what it means is we're falling a little bit behind our kind of schedule to try and stay ahead of our first paying customers. So what have we done about that? Well, you know, Pareto's law, this kind of comes from that, you know, the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the benefits of your product will come from 20% of the features or processes or automations, if you like, or 80% of your problems will come from 20% of your customers. You know, or the same principle applies in both kind of sides of the spectrum, but the general concept is that less is more. And so what we've done is looked at each section of the framework and kind of segregated it into, we have to have this, and this we can build at a later date. And we've actually kind of halved the size of many of the modules that we're building. And as a result, we've made it far more palatable and achievable to the product build team. So so the learnings from my diary today is that quite often in life there are certain laws or frameworks that you can draw upon when you're facing some kind of adversity. And the Pareto's law, the 80-20 rule, is one of those laws that I often come back to. And it's basically looking at the 80-20 rule or principle. So 80% of something is the result of 20% of something. It can work either side. So 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your customers, or 80% of your problems comes from 20% of your customers. It can work both sides, and freakishly, it's usually pretty accurate. So we've adopted the process today with our product build side of things. So we've decided that, you know, 80% of the benefits of this module comes from 20% of the features. So we've not quite got it down to 20%, but we've certainly dropped it by around about 50% of the features in version 1 of the product. Now we're still intending on building the rest of the automations and AI automations, but they're going to kind of come into play further down the line. So yeah, so hopefully you found that useful. Any questions or comments, drop me a line. I'll respond to everyone. Do remember though that if you believe in my mission of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon of run vlogging on consecutive days distance of a lap of the world, barefoot style, then do give this a subscribe, share, like and comment, as the more people we get in front of, more money we raise, more children's lives we save, which is why I do this every single day. Thank you, as always, stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you again tomorrow.